to Fangame Marathon. We have the run going a little bit early right now, so Zona is going to show off just a good like 6 minutes of stuff before we actually get into the run, just to give something to watch and enjoy.
Hi everyone.
And we got Nambo as well. You wanna go do something? Go for it.
So each first stage of every difficulty here is basically just to block off the challenge mode. And as you can see, the stage that the creator decided to put in here is just the back rooms. It's just kind of free to wander about aimlessly. There's nothing in here. It's just purely just a fun thing. Just back when this patch was released in 2020, you weren't able to log off challenge mode difficulties since this is a story mode oriented patch. So they decided to do something funny, and each stage in each difficulty is named something else. That's pretty funny.
Zona, you're gonna run out of time there.
Yeah, I can't find the door. I wonder why. It's almost like...
I genuinely don't think this maze has a solution. I think it's literally just to waste your time.
It does not. It quite literally does not. As you see, it's in an empty void here.
It's the best kind of maze.
You have any cool replays you could show some of that you have saved, perhaps?
Not really, honestly. I don't have anything saved.
Well, we could just get it going early. Let's just get this underway.
Story mode.
So if you want to throw in a countdown whenever you are ready, just we can get going with Fangame.
Fangame.
All right.
I'm a Fangame of this username.
Okay, we're gonna start here in 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
So starting off here, we're just gonna have the first world. Here we're gonna blow through it pretty quick. It's only gonna take about a few minutes, and don't mind the music, it's whatever. It's probably the weirdest music choice in this whole thing, though.
But this pack is called Super Monkey Ball Universe, as shown in the corner. It is a remix of an older pack called Monkey Ball Dimensions, with a lot of newer, and updated stages by Soldatron.
He released this one in 2020, I believe. I don't remember what month it was. It was right around when another pack, I believe, Super Monkey Ball Guiding, was released, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that 2019?
I don't know the exact years of when things were released, but that surely Monkey Ball Workshop server has all those dates just because the messages from when they're released.
There's tons of packs to play, and a lot get kind of unrecognized for one reason or another. This is one of them.
Yeah, this pack has a lot of, kind of longer ground movement stages, which makes it much more of, an optimization-based pack, which gives it a very different but also unique vibe in terms of a speedrun from other categories. Because it's, for quite a lot of stages, there's not really a huge skip, but instead it's all about just, optimizing your way around the stage and figuring out how to, play it fast and well.
Which is kind of how, SMB1 is.
Yeah, it's like the SMB1 feel, but with the size of a lot of SMB2 stages. Or
also,
even more.
Hold up.
Nice. I did not know that was a hold up. That's awesome.
This pack's definitely a big contrast from something like Stardust, which has a lot of air movement and flashy stuff going on. This pack's a little bit more tame. That's good. Although it still has some cool steps going on.
Yeah, no, we're chilling. Having a good time.
About to be out of World 1 here in a bit.
You're gonna go for the clip? Oh, no clip.
No, that's
you can
far
clip
too
that
risky.
little inside quarter and it saves like a tiny bit of time.
Yeah, I don't bother with that.
Dunk, let's go!
Okay, entering World 2 here. First of all, I've got some better music going on. It's more my style.
I mean, better, that's an opinion.
You're right about that. Better for me.
Fair enough. Everyone jams to their own tunes. One thing that I guess is worth mentioning here as well, while Zona's kind of working through these stages, is that this pack, because Monkey Ball, like by default, doesn't really have bounce pads and its conveyors are just like scrolling textures, a lot of packs will make their own type of indicator for bounce pads and conveyors. This pack uses these little blue checkered, like, PB surfaces, or BP, which the BP stands for bounce pad. So that's what's going on with those. And then the red ones are just much stronger bounce pads, typically. And then the conveyors are indicated with the same colors, but instead of BP, it says arrows. And they're pointing in the direction that the conveyor goes. So you can see, like, the middle here, the arrows are pointing different directions. Like, you know, the ones on the left are pointing left, the ones on the right are pointing right, which means you kind of have to, like, adjust past the middle.
Stages that use conveyors and bounce pads in cool ways are my favorite. They're just, like, really awesome to see them used in creative ways. Especially
There
bounce
and
pads,
back
'cause
again.
they are not in the vanilla game, at least not utilized.
Wait a minute, you went there and you didn't go back again. You didn't
Yeah,
even play this
sorry,
second
My
curve.
fault. Yeah, I didn't do it right.
What's up with that?
I should start over.
Yeah, start your run over. You didn't complete the pack.
Maybe next time.
Block pick, and we're starting to get into, like, even in World 2, you can kind of see the design style of this pack starting to come into view of, like, these longer gauntlet-y levels that just have a lot of littler parts to them.
It's a good mix of just pure ground movement, along with some other things added in as we get further along here. That goes to seeing in the later worlds. This stage right here, Mindflex, is one of my favorite things that.
This
you're
is
going kind of crazy fast here.
by far the most, like, iconic of this pack.
Yeah,
I've
we're
seen
at
it in, like, several compilation packs. It is awesome. You're meant to go over, like, a bunch more of those, like, really high-speed loops with conveyors, but Zona just kind of skipped a couple of them. But you got the idea with, like, that first spin around at the start of the stage. It was super fast.
Some of you might be able to recognize what this species is based off of. And it might also be in the run before this. Maybe. Or at least from the game. This is just Wet Dry World, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, a bunch of Soldiertron's backgrounds like to put in tons of, like, retro gaming / I guess just general Nintendo gaming references to things. I mean, I guess not just Nintendo. There's, like, some Sonic stuff. There's some there's the Friday Night Funkin' music. There's
I think there's
a
some F-Zero
Portal
GX
background.
in here and the next world coming up. I think.
Yeah, lots of passion for, like, old Nintendo and retro style stuff, which is very cool to see. Kind of working that into a Monkey Ball environment and having stages that play off of it. The watery effects from Monkey Ball's vanilla World 3 work really well here. I think this is also a pack that was made back when, like, it was either hard or impossible to change what, like, effects show up in which worlds. Like, for example, because this is World 3, which is under the ocean in the vanilla game, it has the water particles and whatever. Which, like, this world uses to make it look like Wet Dry World. So it's kind of like a thing where you would, back then, you would match your worlds to the effects that you were given in each world. Like, World 2 had to have the lava particles, World 3 had to have the water particles.
And I think even further back when people couldn't figure out how to remove the water at the top of the background for World 3.
Right, so you had to work with that too.
Yeah, or just kind of there. Yeah, there's a lot more limitations, even like 4 years ago.
But I think that this is like a great example of what's like actually kind of cool about those limitations is that like people built around them. Like it wasn't, people didn't even, you can't even really tell that it's a limitation here without it being explained because it's like the world just builds it in perfectly.
And going into World 4 here, I believe this VG is from, I think, the Sonic game. I forgot what game it is.
This, like, night sky casino looking. Got, like, the 777. I really like the checkers in this world.
I do too, they're probably my favorite. This
It's
world's
like
gonna feature a lot of crossings and slanted.
Honestly, like, texture and checker design is, like, a very underrated aspect of general, like, Monkey Ball pack development. Like, everyone's looking at the stages, but, like, the checkers are always there. And sometimes they have really, really cool designs.
In almost every case, each creator makes their own checker designs, which can be really cool to compare between worlds or different packs in general.
Whoa, I did not know there was a goal down there.
Yeah, it's kind of a jump scare goal. Alright, I'm gonna be trying something on this stage that may or may not work, but we're gonna do it for it.
Heck yeah. Marathon swag. That's what we're here for. Oh, luckily you're not dead.
I'm gonna try it 1 or 2 more times, and if I don't make it, then we'll go then. Oh, made it. There you go.
Hey yo! One of the like underrated hard things about a skip like that is having to slow down on the goal platform. You got like a nice little tap from the goal that helps you slow down.
Yeah. That's what I try to do, just hit the goal post, or else I'll go flying off the other side, which luckily there would be a platform down there early on, but still a close time.
Yeah. And the tricky thing about hitting the goalpost is the goalposts in Monkey Ball are actually perfect, like, mathematical cylinder objects. That's part of why it's actually so easy to, like, rip through the goalpost at high speeds. Because they don't do continuous collision like normal triangles in this game do. This is a fun little trivia fact. But that also means that because it's a perfect mathematical cylinder, it's really unpredictable what direction it sends you. So slamming into a goalpost like that is really precise and pretty risky.
You could also go right through it if you're going fast enough.
Oh, we're just clipping? Oh,
yep.
Okay.
That tries a little bit of improv, but we make this pretty often.
Yeah. It's always brought up how Monkey Ball has deterministic physics whenever people are doing like pause strats and stuff like that. But the unpredictability of collision is always present if you're doing a pauseless run like this one.
I don't remember exactly how many frames the collision is rendered for Monkey Ball. I don't think
it's every frame. Collision is rendered for every frame in Monkey Ball.
Sometimes too, if you're going fast enough, you can just what we call a zork. It's basically just when you're going past that collision, it doesn't like get detected. if you hit like an edge, for example, you just roll right over it when you should.
Yeah, what's happening there is the ball is actually just, like, in a single frame, there's never a spot where it's only touching the edge. It's like either touching nothing or it's touching the flat top of the platform. And because of that, it detects that you're on the flat top of the platform and it like teleports you up to it, and there's just no edge hit.
Just one of the many fun quirks this game has. Alright, rolling into World 5 here. We have an introduction to these little guys right here that you can see are not tilting with the rest of the stage, which can be kind of disorienting a little bit.
It's a custom mechanic that's unique to this pack.
These are fake platforms. If I were to roll over where they're actually being shown, then I would just fall right through them.
That is actually, like, another funky, like, unique mechanic that's accomplished by taking a portion of the stage and making its visual a background object. Because the background in Monkey Ball doesn't tilt with the stage. But the background doesn't necessarily have to be in the background. So what those stages are doing is they're adding in background objects onto the stage itself to visually show where, like, the parts of the stage are. And because of the fact that they're background objects, they don't tilt with the stage. And there's a bunch of neat things that this world, and also just like the pack as a whole, does with these phantom platforms, as they're generally called by the community.
No,
I've
what I
only seen
forgot
them in many other packs.
to mention was that in a stage in World 4, I think it's 4-6, there was an introduction to the phantom platforms, which is similar to the fake ones, except for you can actually roll on them. But they still don't tilt with the rest of the stage.
Sometimes they're used to indicate that a platform's not there, and sometimes they're used to indicate that a platform is there, but luckily it's like pretty easy to tell which is which, just given the case-by-case basis. There's a stage coming up here in World 5, I think later on, called Phantom Exam, where it's like all made of phantom platforms, and so there it's very clearly like the rollable kind, but it's just hard because it's not what you're used to in terms of visuals. Like, you're used to the stage tilting when you move it around, and so seeing it not move is like jarring. And it's a cool, like, different way of doing difficulty.
And that stage that I was referring to also has a decently hard stuff to it that I hope I'll be able to pull off here coming up in the stage after this, I believe.
Yeah, when adding BG objects to the stage like that, it's like the BG object itself doesn't have collision, and the creator just has to perfectly line up an actual, like, invisible collision object with the BG object in order to make it have collision, or seemingly have collision.
It's one of those things that's even cooler once you know how it works.
Yeah. Here's Phantom Exam.
Yeah,
You can see that the bananas
there.
are tilting. That was awesome. That's a really hard skip. Especially with the fact that the stage is not tilting with you, so it's just such a jarring way of playing the game. It might not look it, but it's so weird.
Practice want that one a good amount and spreads it out first try everything.
Little gimmick on this stage. It's a little hard to tell what's going on, but the actual platform that Zona's on is invisible, and it's a tiny bit above the indicator platform that's below. And so it kind of looks like the monkey's almost going off the side a little bit, but that's just because it's like a little bit offset to what it would look like. Again, very like messing with your visuals as in terms of like making it difficult, and it actually works surprisingly well in my opinion for like making a unique style of difficulty for a Monkey Ball pack.
Definitely one
Something that you don't see very often
in this pack for sure.
Surely, if the stage is vertical, that means we jump straight down to the goal.
Yep. Actually surprised I got that one first try. The dueling goal is not very forgiving. Going way high up, going back down. And
Fun fact, the
hitting
roof
goalpost.
in the background... the roof in the background on the stage actually has collision, fun fact. I think, at least.
I don't believe it does, actually. I think
Oh, it doesn't?
go right through
Okay.
it.
There was some other stage, then, that did have it. Everything is something else. Never mind. Me with the fake fun facts. Whoa.
We're doing a little bit better of a backup here.
I did not know that was a backup. You made that look super smooth. You could have just said I meant to do that, and I would have been like, yep, you meant to do that.
Yep, I realized that I was too far forward to be able to pull back and land on the same one, so I had to land on the lighter one first. That stage is pretty long. Can't really do a whole lot on it. We're just gonna... It's more of a consistency test, if anything.
Yeah, consistency and just like optimizing moving around these corners, because it's just like, you know, yeah, you lose time for dying, but also just like the faster you play the stages, the faster time you get. It's something that you don't really get to see in a more skip-based run.
That'd be really embarrassing if I did die on that. There are gonna be, I think, a few other stages that are gonna be similar to that, but not that one.
It is just like, it's surprisingly hard to movement optimize in this game, even like the most simple of stages. Like, you could take a stage that's literally just a big checkerboard or something and it'd still be really hard to optimize, just because turning in this game is like acceleration based. And so anytime you want to make a turn, you're like leading into the turn with your inputs, and there's always a slightly better line that you could be taking. It's not as simple as just like start inputting left when you can start inputting left.
On that last stage, I waited for 2 seconds at the beginning to make the side roll. I'm not restarted on that.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to get out of that half pipe when you get stuck in there. You kind of need the momentum from coming in from the top in order to get across it. It's specifically just the fact that you're getting no ground friction on the way down. Because ground friction in this game is like the #1 thing that slows you down. You very much, like, in any opportunity that you can, you want to be in the air.
Now I'm going to be trying to skip here. That is going to be pretty tough just because I'm flipping across here. And I did it. First try. Awesome. Cool.
Hey! That skip is really freaking hard. You have to, like, react really fast to what type of clip you get. It can give you a lot of different things.
Flipping platforms is just very unpredictable in general, so doing something like that first try is awesome. Wow, not doing that one first try, you can't have everything.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, this is skipping a very long stage, so this is like, even though the clip is janky and hard to do, it's like, it's important.
Oh, barely missed that.
Ah. You almost, like, clipped up onto the goal platform.
Almost, that's what I was hoping for. This clip is a little bit blind because of the hump and the banana there. Hopefully I can get it this time.
Stupid bananas getting in our way.
Just roll right over it that time. I gotta go deeper. It's that.
There's always like a bit of a balance between going too deep and going not deep enough. Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Even that clip just shows how hard they are to do consistently.
Yeah, because it's like you're hitting the ball on the edge of an object. It's like, it's just so inherently unpredictable. And then the game's collision is also like, you know, it's a really good collision system, don't get me wrong, but no collision system is perfect, in my opinion. Gonna be skipping some steps on the staircase here. Little staircase made of bounce pads.
World 7 here. With the more retro arcadey feel to it.
Yeah, very high contrast on these checkers. Very bright. Very disco, if you will.
There's going to be a few stages moving forward, including this one, that have these big red pyramids here that are going to be smacking me all over the place here. But I'm going to be using them to my advantage here to skip the stage.
Yeah, no, those pyramids are supposed to kill you by launching you off the stage, but they are our friends here.
There's going to be I believe, 2 stages, maybe 3 in the next world, that utilize those, as well as one, I believe, in World 9.
They're a recurring theme. But that also means that they're a recurring friend.
We can only hope. They help me instead of hurting me. Hurting me
I
doing
mean,
a
that
pretty
skips
fun
with them are not easy.
where
Oh yeah, this
I have to
is...
stand pretty close to being in the middle to get smacked up by that
Yeah,
object.
getting... Whenever you're standing at the edge of an object that's crushing you, the hit that you get out of it is very volatile. Also, that was an awesome dunk.
Yeah.
GG's.
Pretty stretchy, but we did it.
Yeah, getting hit by an edge like that, especially when it's kind of crunching down into the ground and swishing the ball upwards, is like very, very volatile. And a very, very tiny change in position would give you a wildly different hit there. And there's a very thin line which you can stand on, which actually gives you a workable hit. And most other positions would just completely own you off the stage to the side.
In that stage with the platform that the goal is on, moves up and down too, so it's not set in a set place. Which just makes it that much more difficult to land. Dungeon goals from really high up in this game is just really difficult to do.
Yeah, the steeper angle you come in with, the more the party ball is blocking your entry. The dreaded party ball, enemy of all who enter.
Good party ball there, it's fine, just listen a few seconds.
Oh. Didn't kill you though.
That's the worst, to have the party ball smack you off the stage, it just doesn't like you at that point.
The thing is, the party ball swings around with the tilt of the stage. Like, if you tilt the stage right, the party ball will swing right. And so what happens oftentimes, if you pull back right before you're about to enter a goal, which happens a lot, you know, you're doing adjustments all the time. You might just happen to pull it back and put last. The party ball can swing into you. And if that happens, it, like, throws you off to the side most of the time, just because it's like, it's a little sphere hitting another little sphere. You know, you never know which way it's going to send you.
And at the same time, certain stages might require you to adjust it in a way to where it's out of the way for you to go into the side of the goal, which we call a side goal, and they're usually pretty cool to see happen.
Yeah, you kind of have to set up your angle into a goal in order to manip a side goal to happen on purpose, and it's a kind of a more, like, advanced thing that to try to learn how to do, just because you have to, like... It's a secondary thing on top of aiming for the goal that you have to be, like, thinking about and doing.
Okay, heading into World 8 here, that have a stage where we're just going to be moving back and forth here.
Again, optimizing turns. It's harder than it sounds.
I call this the lawnmower technique. Go back and forth on the lawn.
I mean, you are collecting the bananas, so you know, this will be a banana-free lawn, except for that last row. Screw that last row, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like that last round. Not a big fan. Gonna time this. Oh, get back on there.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that whole thing moves up and down pretty quick, so I got lucky there that I was able to adjust back on. Gonna use that conveyor to take me up.
Oh yeah, that's another little thing that this pack does that isn't really seen in that many other packs, which is a conveyor on a wall. And having a, like, upwards conveyor on a wall, if it's strong enough, will just start to, like, carry the ball upwards if it's, you know, like, nudged against the side.
Which we saw on Mindflex to absolutely send us super fast. Which is my favorite kind of stage.
Everyone loves a little bit of zoom. I love how you have to take the first slope and then you just ignore every other slope.
They are not needed.
Slopes are a suggestion.
But greatly appreciated.
You see more of these danger triangles up ahead, which surely means that You're gonna be seeing some action incoming. But having a skip be this far into a stage means that it's very dangerous to like come in and mess up, because it's just like you lose so much time and it's a very precise thing.
Yeah, these next few stages strats are pretty difficult.
Yeah, this is probably the most like skip heavy section of the run, right?
Yeah. Got it. There you go.
That was awesome. Second try is flames.
This one's not as hard, but still a little.
Funny little thing in the spin end of the stage, you can kind of see that the stage's support beams just like extend all the way through the ground into the background. Kind of awesome.
Almost.
Oh. You kind of have to like angle yourself to align with the wire in midair before you even can really see the wire.
It's a little tricky. You don't land weirdly there, but still will make it work.
Whoa! Yeah, normally you want to hit the upward slope on that mini pyramid so that you don't have to spend as much time on the wire, but you just kind of nailed it.
And we're gonna make it up here first try. That's awesome, that strat.
Nice! You know, you need every little bit of height you can possibly get out of that launch. And because the animation is kind of easing in, like getting faster as it goes and then slowing back down, you have to hit it on like basically the frame when it's moving the fastest. There's probably a couple frames that you can hit it on, but it's pretty precise. Those little yellow striped platforms, by the way, if Zona hits those at all, like so much as grazes the sides of them, they will absolutely yeet the monkey off the stage.
Yeah, and that's not very fun for the monkey or me, so that's to avoid them.
Like, they are so insanely fast that you can't even really use them as friends. Like, they just send you way off to the side.
Yeah, they're not invited to my birthday party.
Red triangles, they're welcome in the birthday party.
Very.
Yellow walls, not allowed.
Yeah, and until the last two worlds here are gonna be getting some other stuff, so also some longer stages.
This is the Aperture Science world.
I'm gonna be doing a cool skip here to be able to get first try. And I did. Cool.
Oh,
Awesome.
wow. Was that clip at the beginning intentional?
Yes. Because I have to bounce over the little gap right before the turn.
That is hype. That is a tiny, tiny cylinder. Holy heck.
Play it safe here.
It's actually a red goal path that Zona just took in order to go a little bit faster. Like, even though it's much harder, it is faster, so Zona would go for it.
It was a little too slow there. Let's try it.
A bit of a tight
There you
cycle
go.
here. I love the way that strat looks.
It's very clean. And here's the red criminals again. They give me a free boost over here. This virus says they still need you. So yeah.
I don't think I've seen a single red triangle that's not been a friend yet.
You haven't, and you never will see one that's not. Ever. I guarantee. This is another one of the stages that is more of a consistency test here. Just make right along. Try not to fall off. While also being really speedy.
There is actually a full skip on this stage that like is done in the IL, but there is like it is nowhere near consistent enough to ever do for an RTA. Like it's the kind of thing that you play for like 20 minutes and you don't get once.
Try an hour. It's very not friendly.
You have to get like this funky double clip at the end of the first platform that just like is a nightmare.
And you still have to clip up on that component. It's just it's that they're far apart.
Mechanical II, $50,000. You buying?
Yes.
Where you getting that money? Can
Uh,
I have some?
No.
Dang.
Sorry, I like
This
gambling
upsets
too
me
much.
greatly.
Don't tell me, no. This is gonna be
What would you-
one of the last
What would you
stages.
use it?
That is gonna be a consistency test here. Let's take some obstacles going on.
I just need to ask this stupid question. What would you even use a mechanical II for? Like, what do you... Why is it worth 50,000? Like, what do they even do in the original game?
Probably very deadly. Or can be friendly, maybe? Maybe you can
I don't-
reprogram them to be friendly.
I don't...
Oh.
I think that I literally just see them, like, walk on platforms and then, like, face each other or whatever. I don't even know if I ever see them do anything in the cutscenes. Also,
I
that
mean,
is a
they're doing
cool
their own thing.
using all the little bumps on the stage in order to get a bunch of height and speed, and then just dashing over the second half.
It's definitely the kind of script where you do it and you're like, okay, wait a second.
Right there, actually, on 910 was another example of a case where the second time bouncing in the bounce pad gave you more height, because bounce pad height is additive. It doesn't set your vertical velocity to like a specified number, it just adds to it. Which means if you repeatedly bounce on it, eventually, like, you will tap out at a height eventually, but like the first few bounces will keep gaining height off of each other, depending on how strong the bounce pad is. So Zona was using that there to like double bounce the red and get a bunch more height.
And on that note, we are in the final world now, final stretch. Oh, died at the end, that's unfortunate. But this level is one of the hardest, if not the hardest, in the whole run here.
Yeah. In terms of like casual completions, this is like one of the hardest ones to complete, just because the whole stage is like just moving back and forth, and so it's kind of jerking the camera from side to side, and it's also like you have to deal with the acceleration and reverse acceleration of it like speeding up and slowing down to reach each of the walls. And it's very like hard to read on your first go. And even here it's like hard to account for like the weird camera angles that you're going around with and the extra acceleration that you're not really expecting.
Especially when you're trying to go faster than usual on these platforms here.
Yeah, Zona kind of wants to catch some cycles here that make the camera not being moved in the worst way possible. Like, if you have your camera... It's possible to have it so your camera's moving backwards on those wires, which you do not want. Like, Zona was trying to catch cycles to prevent that from happening, essentially.
Oh,
Glitch goal!
I made that. I genuinely thought I was not going to make that, and I was just like, this is my fate. I'm just going to restart the stage. And nope.
Every speedrun needs a good glitch goal.
That doesn't happen very often, by the way. That's very particular circumstances for that to even be that can happen.
Also, that last stage, Wacky Workbench, had kind of a goofy gimmick where if you fall off, you get bounced upwards and then hit off to the side instead of falling off normally.
Fortunately, not able to see that since I beat the stage first try.
It's a gimmick that you only get to see if you die, which is very intriguing and unusual.
A little tempting, but we're gonna refrain.
I've tried it before. It's pretty fun, not gonna lie.
I'll have to take your word for it then.
This is a really cool movement pattern here on this stage. Kind of hard to tell where like the center point is of the movement sometimes. It's always on a white checker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even though it may look like the whole thing is moving around, like there's like a set of white checkers that doesn't move, and then everything else kind of moves around it.
This beginning might be a little difficult just because of how thin these are. Shouldn't have too much roll once we get past this first section here.
Thin wires in my ball game. Is there a full skip there where like you use the bumps with like a funny clip or something to reach the goal?
I've tried it, and it's nothing RTA, unfortunately.
I see. I imagine it wouldn't be RTA viable, but cool to know that it might exist. Also, these platforms here at the end, like, periodically turn invisible and uninvisible. Visible? There's a word for that, it's visible. But the bananas are kind of a good guide, and if you know the shape of the platforms, you can kind of use the bananas to go through, even when the stage is invisible.
Even then, I wanted to play a little bit safe there.
Yeah, because it's pretty deep into the stage as well. Also, that was super clean.
Yeah, I usually don't do it that clean. Actually,
Yeah.
flip the edge.
I was watching you practice that little part of the skip before the run. Like, that looked really hard. You just made it look like a cakewalk. Got a little mountain here in the middle of the stage, but it gives you airtime, so.
You know, this is going to be the longest stage in the run here, and it's going to have a mandatory 0.1 wire, which is pretty thin.
Yeah, this is like the true final test of execution in the pack, and 10-10 is more of like a more of a credits slash victory lap style stage. So this is the big final challenge here. Yeah, that last wire is 0.1 unit thin, and for those wondering what unit means, it is 0.1 the width of the ball. So you could fit 10 of those wires together and it'd be the width of the ball. I swear, bounce pads and like little jumps like that are always so much scarier when you're like, you know, 30 seconds into a stage. You're ascending the staircase.
Okay, approaching the last stage here. We're gonna call time as soon as I go to the goal.
Yep, the goal at the end of the A. There are so many bunches on this stage. There's like so many bananas. We got a little logo stage in the style of the Sega logo.
And time.
Woohoo! That's sub 40? That was a sub 40! By 1 second! Heck yeah! Can anyone else hear Zona right now?
Sorry. Yeah. Fun thing, or actually not funny thing. My headphones died like 2 stages before the run ended, so I was just kind of waiting it with the commentary there. I had to plug it back in.
I see. GG on sub 40 though.
Thank you. Hopefully I wasn't talking over you at all or anything. Probably was, but
I have no clue.
Yeah, your mic wasn't coming through on Discord, so whether or not it was on the stream, not a clue. But I figured you were just really, really involved in watching the credits for a bit.
yeah.
I thought you were all checking the time or something.
I just wanted to let it play out. This is a very funny cutscene.
Yeah, one you've never seen before.
The vanilla cutscenes are truly something else. We actually, the community somewhat recently figured out how to edit the text in the cutscenes. Not the cutscenes themselves, just the text. And so there's been some recent releases that have made some very goofy edits to the typical text that is shown in these cutscenes. Kind of a funny story there.
Well, as it is now, we are, significantly ahead of schedule after. You wouldn't happen to have like another hack you could show off by any chance, would you?
That was a PB, right, Zona?
Yes, it was actually.
Damn.
World record.
Even in practice.
World record.
Yeah, even in practice, I haven't gotten anything as fast as this, even. So.
Holy.
Very awesome.
Good stuff. Yeah, if you do have another pack you'd be able to show, that would be great, because our next runner is currently not even available. So, if you have anything you could show, by all means.
Do you have any replays on any other packs you could show, Zona?
I'm not sure if I have anything specific. Though, actually, I could open up Stardust, maybe, to show a cool replay that I have on there.
Sure, go for it.
Just speed run through this here.
The classic file name. So many people have done the file name. It is an absolute all-time classic.
Now, the replay I'm going to show is going to be for a stunt compilation that is going to come out sometime in the future. That is going to be
sometime
cool.
TM.
Yeah,
Holy
sometime.
crap, we have a lot of replays here.
Yeah, I have no idea how many of these are actually real or just ones that actually say.
I mean, they could be just like funny collisions that happened. That could be fun to show.
This is the main one I want to show, though. This one took a little while to get. I'm going to be hitting basically every, or not every, object around the stage, but a lot of them. I'm basically just going to be doing a tour around the whole stage here.
Yeah, Monkey Ball is definitely a very good game for coming up with just like funky trick shots that like it's not an IL, it's not a score run, it's literally just for swag, and that is the whole purpose, and it's freaking awesome.
This stunt, as we call it, is just doing a stage that in very cool ways that isn't at all really intentional by the creator. It took me quite a while to pull off, as you can see. Very long time.
That was awesome.
I guess we can.
Show me another one of your replays.
Yeah,
I want to
we
see
can
what they
check
are.
this.
I'm curious. I'm hoping to see some very jank collision.
Let's check out this Flip Switches one. This might be the one where I got the stunt goal for the first time. Potentially. I chose to do it in a pretty interesting way. That's not all what Nambo does in the issue speedrun.
What?
Barely got up there.
That's hype.
I think this is one where I went through the bottom of the platform, if I'm remembering correctly. Which I have to see here. I think I actually fell off the stage, hit one of the collidables that was below, and somehow managed to get back up here. Completely by accident, by the way. I just kind of caught that. And yeah, there is some desync there just because of how fast I'm going. But I did in fact go through the bottom.
Oh yeah, the bottom of that just like doesn't have collision.
a lot of stuff in Stardust does not due to file limitations and just how crazy everything is. And don't tell anyone, but there may or may not be a crinkle on the stage.
What?
Yeah,
What? You can't spoil that secret.
Well, too late.
The masses know about it. Quick, abort! I need to get rid of it.
It's in a very awkward spot. It's very cool. I think that's some other funny stuff over here.
What is that recolor? I'm curious.
Wait, I think I know what I did here.
Wait, you got bananas?
I didn't go in the
I'm
goal,
just-
so I wonder what this is. Maybe it's that secret that's on the stage. It's either that or I died in a silly way.
I'm looking at the score and it's like you got 9 singles in a bunch? Oh, yeah, the camera does a little bit of goofy there.
I did this in one, I'm thinking. Yeah.
Oh. Oh my god, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, very awesome. Very awesome image there. There's a few sprinkled around.
Bit of an Easter egg, if you will. Oh man, I forgot that that's what that replay was. You're spoiling all the secrets.
I think that's gonna be the only one that I have that's in a replay.
That's really funny though.
This is the one that I just did really fast.
Yeah, that's an IL. That's awesome.
Doing
Welcome to
individual level speedruns in this pack, and especially just in Munchball in general, is very fun and also very difficult, depending on the stage you're trying to go fast on. That's very funny.
Whoa. What? Oh. Uh-huh.
Don't go on the
Can we
goal.
watch that? Can we watch that in slow-mo?
Of course, hold on.
No, you don't have to open it up again if you don't. Okay, then.
On you ask, you shall receive. Oh.
Yeah, the monkey ball replay feature allows you to enter slow-mo mode on replays. Or like you can frame by frame advance it.
Am I even supposed to hit? Yes. Okay. So here, I get hit by the raindrop that is falling down, and I get squeezed in a specific way to where I just get launched forward. There.
Yeah, and then just straight through the goal for no reason.
The monkey gets stretched in some weird ways here.
II has no legs.
I believe this is also another IL, which stands for individual level.
Looks like a stun the whole time.
We can do this last one and then transition it over.
Fire.
Alright. If those are
Huge.
some cool Stardust replays, go play Super Well Stardust, very cool pack. Very awesome.
And also, like, the universe also. Like, it may be a little bit of an older pack, but, like, I think it has a lot of charm as well.
Every pack has their own charm.
Exactly. Everyone makes stuff in their own style, and that's what makes this community freaking awesome.
Well, thank you, Zona, for that wonderful PB run, and of course, Nambo for joining us again. We're gonna see both of you again later, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. All right. Well,
I believe on Saturday, right?
We are
should
both
be.
part of the Interstellar Relay that's going to be happening, so yeah.
Which I'm doing
Yeah, if
practicing
people
for.
want to watch more of Stardust, then that was that you'll get more of it. But we are going to send it over Any last words, any shoutouts, or are we good?
Go check out the Level Workshop server if you want to check out all these amazing packs and maybe play some yourself if you want to.
Shoutouts as well to SMB Elite, the website where ILs are submitted and stored. Just if you just look up SMB Elite, all one word, it shows up. It's awesome as well.
Alrighty, well with that, we'll send it over and get ready for the next run, which is Junkoid by Linkameister. So we will see you all again very shortly.